of what scares you the most?
Probably something physical, like being up high with, like nothing below me but rocks, like a non-survivable. I'm not scared of spiders or people or anything like that, just something physical like that, I think. And is that all you want to know on that one? Or why does it scare me? I don't know. I've fallen a lot, but I mean, never a severe fall. I think it's just the feeling of maybe being out of control, because you kind of start to fall and there's not much you can do about that. But that's probably it.
What scares you most and why?
I have to tell you, I'm gonna put it into four things: the anger, the hatred, the bitterness, and the fear. I can handle the anger. I can understand the hatred. The bitterness is hard to understand, but it's the fear that scares me the most. It really is. I'm just so afraid of the fear because fear is kind of the unknown. You don't give people an opportunity. You don't get to know them. I would line them up, four categories: anger, hatred, bitterness, and fear. And what really concerns me the most is the fear that people are experiencing right now, myself included.
I feel that fears aren't often discussed when the American identity is explored. We've talked ideas, beliefs, and what an American really is, but yet to be thought about is fears. Studies say Americans are scared of public speaking, but there has to be more to the story than just public speaking. It's a valid fear, but there has to be something more there. My goal is to explore individual fears, America's fears, and see if there's a connection between those fears and our current issues as a nation we're facing. Additionally, I want to see if there are any trends in the 5 people I interview with their fears.
What do you think of what do you think Americans are afraid of the most?
Unfortunately, I think we're afraid of change. We want things to stay the same, and unfortunately, currently with the how technology is changing so fast, that is a huge change. For example, all the automation that we're going through right now, it's eliminating many jobs, and there is almost no job that's going to be safe in the near and long term from computers, robots, and automation. And unfortunately, one of our short-sightednesses is we develop this technology, yet we don't see how it's going to impact us in the long term or in the future. And I think hopefully that's something that we can resolve, so that we can resolve some of the issues that we currently have are because of in this country is because of automation and robots taking away jobs and leaving people without gainful employment.
What do you think Americans are afraid of the most?
Right now, they're afraid of the economy. They're afraid of another world war. They're afraid they might not be able to get gasoline for their cars. I mean, you get little ones like, I'm afraid of not getting enough food, of not having enough money, and all those things. But that's pretty. I think that's normal for people to worry about their own future.
What do you think Americans are afraid of most?
Wow, that's a great question too. And I saw that, and I thought about it for actually since of all the questions I thought about this one. I'm going to put it in terms of 310, 12 million people in America, and quite a few of those are adults. And then you have, if you're not an adult, you're obviously a person your age or younger or a few years older. I think when I talked about Americans being afraid, I think they're just afraid of the unknown. You hear stories that between 23 and I'm hearing numbers like 30 million people could be without health care if they lose, if certain things happen. People fear those things. You want to make sure that if you are an adult with school-age children, you want them to go to good schools, good safe schools, and get good jobs. I think they're just afraid of, I hate to keep saying the unknown, but it's those kind of things.
Coming into this project, I thought that people's fears would be similar to each other. I also expected that people would list a fear of terrorism or a possible attack. But from the 5 people I interviewed, I noticed different trends than what I expected. Fear of having no control, fear of change, fear of the unknown and the future. But I wouldn't say that these are universal, because after doing these interviews, I don't believe that there's a universal American fear. America is a diverse country with diversity in its fears. I think American fears can be easily influenced by someone's age, gender, sexuality, race, origin, economic status, and upbringing. For example, Lily. She is from Wisconsin. She's 17. She's a high school student, and she's a lesbian. So she's extremely afraid of Trump and his policies. While my grandpa, an 80-year-old white dude from Washington, isn't exactly afraid of what Trump and his policies can do. He says he doesn't have any change in fear after the 2016 election. I think that there's definitely common fears that people share, and there might be trends in certain areas of the country and in certain groups. But I cannot say that there's a universal American fear, that I can just limit it down to one. It changes from person to person and in time periods. Like, I don't exactly think we're as afraid of communism as we were in the 50s. Like our definition essay at the start of the year, each one of us had a different definition of an American, but that didn't make any of them wrong or invalid. I like to think of that just as our fears. But going back to the question of what it means to be an American, I think that the media and society may cover it up. But like everyone else on this earth, we are a scared people, and we aren't fearless. And I think being an American is having fears and accepting them.